What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a good afternoon. I hope you're having a good Monday. Thinking Game Podcast had to come on and been a crazy day, but come on and get this thing started. Waiting on my bros to come in, but I want to get all the housekeeping out the way first. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Go to our YouTube channel, YouTube/CTM TV. YouTube/CTM TV. Make sure you go check that out. Make sure you check out the sports stuff we do in the evenings. Um, Today, when you think about thinking, question, and grow, we want to talk about the aftermath of some of the bad decisions and choices. You got everybody sometimes telling you what to do, but when do people tell you what not to do? I've made many of mistakes, many of bad decisions, many of bad choices. And when I'm gonna say for me, when you make so many of them, you learn from them, and you learn how to make better choices from the past choices that you made. But if I can do anything to give back to the youth and say, just don't even go down that road, it's not even worth it. Some bad choices and bad decisions, they not worth making. And you gotta have the sense to say it's not even worth it. I'm not an asterisk. I'm not the exception to the rule. I'm gonna feel the aftermath, the after effects, the results of the bad decision, a bad choice. But you gotta have some sense. You gotta be able to be honest with yourself and say that it's a bad choice, a bad decision. And if you still want to make it, you gotta be able to deal with the aftermath. That's just how life goes. Um, Whether you agree with it or not, the aftermath is the aftermath. It happens. Sometimes you can't pick it. We try to as humans. If I do this, I know something bad gonna happen, but this gonna happen. But you don't see the rest of it, the aftermath or the results. So we gonna talk about that today. Was waiting on my bros to come on in this thing, and we gonna jump it off. But let me know in the comments, man, some of the stuff that's been flying across the radar. I know I seen Floyd Mayweather. Uh, a $3 million paternity suit, something crazy like that. Paternity suit. He has to pay back pay of so many millions and then pay like 33,000 a month or something like that. Some of the details that get sketchy real quick. And I think they said that it was a establishment that he owned. He was having encounters or with the employee. She became pregnant, brought it to his attention. He said it's not his. He said, you probably need to get that checked. She offered a DNA test. He didn't go take it, uh, according to the court documents. And by him not showing up to take it, he forfeited the decision. It was defaulted to her, and he's ordered to pay back pay and continual support of a child that he didn't get DNA tested on and don't know if it's his kid or not. It was a decision by the court. Once again, the aftermath of bad decisions and bad choices, right? The aftermath. He was with a woman, right? He made a decision. I'm looking at this woman. He want to bust it down. He want to bust that AP down. Made that decision. He just thought it was gonna be an encounter, couple of nightstands, gonna be over with. Didn't happen that way. She became pregnant with a child, brought it to his attention. Now it's the aftermath. Cost you. Those few encounters with that woman could cost you millions. Millions. The aftermath. All because you didn't want to go to court. Didn't want to get a DNA test. And I know people don't like talking about this as much, but it's just the reality of it. When you're a celebrity or a person like Floyd brags about how much money you have, show people how much money you have, you become a target. Everything you do, magnified. There are people that are looking for opportunities to chip away at the fruit that's on your tree. They trying to get some of them apples that's falling off that tree. And doing stuff like this makes it easier for people to do that. I think sometimes as humans we go through those spirals, things get out of control. I think he could be going through that right now. Allegedly, he could be going through that little spiral. You gotta be smart.
What's
So
up?
we talking about aftermath of some bad decisions and bad choices. I'm talking about Floyd. Why you coming in, man? You hear about the Floyd Mayweather, man?
About the money situation, putting his
He got
trust
a
in the wrong
said he
people.
had an establishment. He had an establishment. Was having encounters with the chick. I guess they ran the establishment. She come up pregnant. She brought it to his attention, based on what I'm hearing, like different stories with the documents, allegedly, all this alleged or whatever. And she brought it to his attention. He said, "Not his." She took it to court and they ordered a DNA test, but he never submitted it. He never did it. So she was granted a default decision. And he got to pay back child support and future child support. They had a kid, he don't even know if it's his or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a big thing now. People think, hey, if I don't take the test, if I duck my responsibilities, they can catch me. No, they'll just rule against you.
The thing that's
You know, that's what happens. I'm not
the
gonna pay
thing that
my
shocks me,
taxes. You know, they ain't gonna get me.
boy. The thing that shocks me about Floyd is you got too much money not to have a legal team, too much money not to have a legal team that can handle this for you. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. I don't know, it's crazy. I know
Yeah,
every time out he going. Go ahead.
Yeah, I say it all the time about the different layers of discipline. You know,
Yeah.
whether it's Stephon Diggs or whether it's the 400-pound
Yeah.
girl with the 6 degrees, you can be really disciplined in one area and be totally undisciplined in another. This man is one of one. He's one of a kind, one of a lifetime boxing, one of a lifetime businessman, young African American that's not highly educated, is one of the richest men in the world, but he still makes foolish decisions like this. How anybody on your team, legal, spiritual,
Yeah.
or otherwise,
Yeah.
agree that it's a good idea not to go to court? At least if you went to court, he had a chance. It might not be his.
Right. Yeah.
But when you don't go to court, it's 100% chance it's yours, or they ain't gonna treat it like it's yours. So
Can
you
you
can be
imagine?
in one area and not another.
Can you imagine the lawyer for her, the legal team for her, and they see that he not coming. They see that he he not coming to court. Can you imagine the feel that they probably having? Like, man, just wait it out. Just take your time.
Oh,
Just wait it out. We finna have a
yeah,
field day.
that was like winning the lotto.
Man, 33,000 a month plus the back pay. But I'm talking about just going for 33K a month. And they said, so he gonna try to file bankruptcy. We'll put a lien on his properties in LA or something like that. So he can't try to do the loophole.
He got too much money for that. He got too many assets for that. You know, that'll work for a low-level millionaire, maybe. You know, and you can say my money tied up. Maybe he can put all his money overseas or do like Elon Musk. All my money tied up in stock. But no.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't even be in the situation where he would have to file bankruptcy if he was just reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, man, you just got to understand, like we're talking about discipline, like people are targeting you, whether we agree with it or not. Like you're a target in every way possible, especially when you're dealing with women. They are like, man, they trying to get you. They trying to. That's like scratching a lot. Like she ain't even had to get the DNA test, and she got it, the lottery. She ain't even had to get the DNA test.
You made it easy for her, you know.
Slam dunk.
When you are that kind of wealthy, I would like those kind of problems. But every woman that has sex with you is trying to get money, a lawsuit, or anything, any kind of come up like that. And I don't blame her. If somebody will make it that easy to give themselves life-changing wealth just because they slept with someone.
So you don't think there's no moral? You don't think there's no moral kind of thing she'll struggle with at all? Like she actually just like, I really set this. What do you find out she orchestrated this whole thing? Like I really wanted to get pregnant by him, so I really kind of set this whole thing up.
Morally, she has no responsibility. You're fool. He's foolish if he let them.
I'm talking about.
It's his fault.
He's definitely accountable, but I'm saying, what if? I'm not saying she did, but what if she set it up like this is what I wanted the whole time?
Even if she did, what's wrong morally with it? I want to
having kids. Okay.
Let's say it out. What is actually she doing? Strategically going to a man to have a child by him that can potentially make her a millionaire.
But if she's going to invest that money in the child or her?
Who cares? She got it.
Oh, wow. That's what the money for, child support.
Yeah, like it's supposed to go to the child. But if I can support a child on $10,000 a year, you know, or 20 or 40, I'm pretty sure how much a month is it?
I think they said $33K a month. Like some people don't even make that a year. $33K.
Yeah, so I'm sure
that long a month.
He is gonna be taken care of trickle down, even with 10% of that or 20% of that a month going to the child. The child's in good financial hands. That's a good strategy for her and not morally wrong. People have babies out of wedlock every day.
I'm just saying,
and
like,
she
as far as
$30,000 a month,
she's risk having a broken home. Like he probably not gonna have no contact with this kid.
So, I know homes.
Well, we talking about single fathers. We talking about troubled youth, at-risk youth. We talking about.
I know homes that are not broken, fully intact. Mama, daddy, grandma. And they're not making $33,000 a month.
So it's about the money.
The money's a good supplement.
Because if it was a dude at Walmart, she probably wouldn't have got pregnant by him. Or people greeted at Walmart, she probably wouldn't have got pregnant by him.
She would have been more cautious, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's all I'm saying.
But so no, this is a lottery ticket. Like, so
because what if he was burning? What if he burnt it though? What if Mississippi burned? He gave that house in Vegas.
What I will take a burn. I'll take a burn notice. for 33 a month. Have a little burnt urination for a
Oh
month or a
man.
couple of weeks. For 33 a month. Yeah.
Listen, I drop some sweet
But
tea, stuff be
but
looking like
hey,
McDonald's sweet tea.
yeah, but you can't get rid of that house in Vegas. So
You can't get rid of
long
the
as
house
I
in
ain't got
Vegas.
that, I'll take a little burn. A little ain't
Yeah.
nothing a third degree won't kill you.
All right, man. Let's get into the actual podcast now. It's funny. The aftermath of bad decisions and choices. We're gonna talk about that. Things not to do. The first thing not to do: stay out of trouble and avoid felony convictions. After a bad decision, how hard is it to navigate life with a felony conviction that we've seen? I know neither one of us had a felony, but we've seen other people have to try to navigate with a felony conviction on their record. It's one of the toughest things, you know.
Yeah, it's hard without one. Life
Yeah.
has already got its challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Not just only with felony. Some of these decisions, decisions, you can pay the ticket, pay the citation, and be
Yeah.
done.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them are there for life. They're on your permanent record. Or you one night in jail to change your life.
Boy, change your life. And you think that you want to be a creative thinker, like really be an entrepreneur? If you ain't ready for, don't get no felony because it's gonna challenge you on every front.
Yeah.
You take away options. You never want to take away options from yourself in this game of life. And sometimes, like when you get felonies, you start taking options away from yourself that you may not ever get back. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to protect yourself. In some states, you can't own a gun no more when you got a felony. It's over with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some jobs you go to, you get a felony, you can't get certain jobs. They're not even gonna fool with you.
And I tell my
They're trying to
son,
change that. They're trying to change that now, but it's still kind of tough though.
yeah, because there's gotta be some kind of deterrent to getting a felony, because a lot of people think, oh, a felony ain't so bad.
Man, you crazy, yeah, boy.
But I tell my son all the time, you don't know how much you get until you lose it. Until
That's true.
somebody start taking stuff off the board,
Mm,
it's like
boy,
you don't want to play with the toy until somebody else playing with it. So
right,
you could go to college or you could own a gun, then somebody takes it away, and that's all you want
right,
now.
boy.
And you can't get it. You
And,
can't cry about it and
and
get a
there are
job
things,
or tell a job that, man, y'all should waive the felony, no felony thing. No, that
boy.
job has the choice to hire you or
Yeah,
not.
I think too. Uh, when I'm talking to kids, you think just killing somebody or robbing a bank is a felony. It's so much stuff out there that's a felony. It's ridiculous. What theft over $10,000 is a felony or something like that, or is it over three? It's something like
Yeah,
that.
somehow
Uh,
checks or
yeah,
depending on what type of a bank do you go into, a state bank, a national bank,
boy,
a
boy,
federal bank, a Federal
man.
Reserve. Now you got a felony charge. Having drugs around small kids. You did one thing, but since the
Hmm.
child's not president,
Yep.
president, that made the crime jump up to a felony. I smoke weed all the time. I do a little meth, a little now every now and then. But a 3-year-old was in certain proximity of their meth. Now you got a felony charge, or
Yeah.
um, you have sex in the wrong parking lot. That was a school parking lot. Now you're a sex offender. You know.
Wow. Wow. Boy. Now you got two L's. You are the sex offender and you got a felony. You know what I'm saying? Boy.
And you can't explain that in the job interview. I
And that's
was
a
just me and this girl was just messing around, and some kids happened to be present, and some Karen called the police.
yeah. And you have to learn what's good and what's bad. You got to weigh out what's the consequences, like what's the results or the aftermath. A lot of times you just do stuff on impulse. You just do it. Like, I'm just gonna do it real quick, and next thing you know, you're dealing with a felony conviction. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, it's so much stuff out there you can get a felony from, not just murdering somebody and just stealing. It's a lot of stuff you can do. I'm talking about one time. You can get convicted one time and it's a felony. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is
Or
watch the news.
you get the wrong lawyer, public defender tell you to plead guilty, you'll just get probation, but probation with a felony on the record.
You gotta let's talk about that for a minute. When you take a plea, right? You gotta ask yourself how far you willing to go with it. What's the risk versus the reward? When you're facing significant amount of time, let's just say 25 to life, and they offer you a 10-year plea deal, you got to make a choice. Do I want to take it to trial, or do I take the plea? Because there are a lot of things at play when you take it to trial, and it's just a decision of choice. You take it to trial, some people might not go on vacation. They're going to be mad. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what kind of evidence they got. You know if you're guilty or not. If you know that you're guilty and you want to go to trial for 25 to life or take a 10-year plea, you got to think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it worth it? 25 to life. Is it worth playing around with that? You know what I'm saying?
I've been watching a lot of court TV, and it's been real. Seeing these situations. Almost every week, it's another trial that's being publicized, and this is a good thing. It's teaching people a lesson without them having to go through it, because they can be you. It was a man. He was 60 years old. He let his 15-year-old son drive his car. Kid ends up reckless driving, kills 4 people in the car accident.
Wow.
They charged that man, his dad, who was at the house. He didn't hit nobody with a car. Charged him with manslaughter, right?
Wow.
He didn't do anything. He didn't even leave the house.
He did. He made a choice to let his son drive the car. He made a choice.
Yeah, and he was accountable for what his child did. Now he ain't even a choice. They said, plead guilty, and we'll get you a manslaughter. Maximum we can give you is 5 years.
Man.
All right. He said, no, man, I'm going to take this to trial. Because I didn't do nothing. Right. My child did it.
All right.
Guess what?
He got the max.
4 counts.
Ooh.
Of manslaughter.
Ooh.
The minimum was 10 years per count.
Per count.
I think he ended up with 37 years in prison or something like that. And now they're talking about his health. He had cancer and stuff like that. That 5 years looks real good now, because everybody want to be tough. Take it to trial. Mm-hmm. Take it to trial. He took it to trial and he lost. You know,
man, he made a decision. It didn't work out in his favor, man.
And this is an extreme case, but
that happens in life.
Of course that happens. This is real life. You got to think about the little cases. You got to pay attention to the little stuff. So they got you on some little drug charge. You was holding drugs for your man. You ain't got no record. Hey, guess what? If you plead guilty, you can get no jail time, 5 years of probation. Hey, this sounds good. No jail time. I ain't never did nothing wrong before. So this probation will be a breeze because I ain't dirty. But if you don't pay attention, when you plead guilty, it's a felony on your record now. You was a nurse. Now you're a nurse for the felony. Now you can't work in certain hospitals.
It's just how you just make a choice. You got to weigh out. Do you want to go to jail? You want to go home, right?
Yeah. Sometimes, hey man, take that little take that little 3 months and get that off your record. Plead down. Get it out of the felony range. Do that little time and forget it, and don't mess with those type of people no more. But you were so eager to get no jail time, you ended up with a felony. You're in the free world. You in jail in the free world. You locked up, but you free.
And then this happens a lot. in our community. We don't like people don't like talking about it. Being at the wrong place at the wrong time, and you get caught up in the sweep, right? You didn't pull the trigger, you didn't provoke it, you was just there, and they got you, and they're asking you who did it, who pulled the trigger. You got a choice to make.
And they
Do
trying
I?
to say I'm gonna stick to the street code, but you ain't even really a street dude.
I
But you
know,
there.
right? You're civilian.
And you talk about that shit, you know, like
You can't handle the truth.
Because if you say I don't know, they gonna slap you with life. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it happen.
people be talking about life, but 5 years of mess of my life.
Yeah.
Who's gonna pay
2
my
months.
mortgage for 1 month, let
2
alone
months.
5 years?
Yeah, 2 months to mess up your life.
Yeah.
In jail. Man, what?
So
But
you
my young bulls out there, man.
You going to jail and you're not affiliated, you got to do 5 years, 10 years. You ain't in the
Boy.
game. You a civilian.
Boy, that's for real. Cause boy, that civilian like boy, something crazy.
And
then,
your wife
how do you
ain't gonna wait for you. Your kid, you go in, your kid 7, you come out, he gonna be 17.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's another thing too, man. You kind of feel bad for them, but you got to think about reality at the same time. Dudes being there for they being there for a long time. It's like, man, don't nobody even come to see me. Man, what you expect, man? You in like Timbuktu County somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And your family may not make that much money like that, you know what I'm saying? According to the data, household income. And if you don't got a reliable car, you want them to drive to Timbuktu and risk blowing a head gasket, you know what I'm saying? Blowing a tire out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember going to Barney Unit, Cummings, out
Boy.
there. But and you had to think about people talk about people a lot. If I wish my mom was here, I wish my cousin was here. They did, you can just go to the cemetery sometimes, or you can think about them. But when they're in jail, they did, but they still alive. And it's more responsibility, it's more money. It's almost harder when they're still alive than when they're dead, realistically speaking.
Yeah, and that's why it's good to avoid felony convictions, avoid jail, because it's a lot of stuff that come with it that you can't talk about in a 5-minute conversation. It's a lot of heartache, a lot of headache, and sometimes you will. It ain't like nobody didn't forget about you. Everybody has to live life. Everybody has to pay bills. Everybody has to go to work, and they can't just stop life for
you.
you.
My best friend, right? If you go to jail, if you don't, I still get my bills. My problems are still the same.
Yes.
Even though you went to jail. My life didn't change. It didn't get easier.
Yep.
It maybe got a little bit emotionally harder, but it didn't get harder. But I still got to do this. I'm not winning at a high level right now.
Right.
And now you want me to take care of your family, give your wife a couple of $100 here and there. I didn't have a couple of $100 before you went to jail.
Boy, for real. For real. Now, this is the next one to think about. Future choices being made by current decisions. You have to think about this. What you doing now?
Right there.
Yeah. I'm going to school right now at 40 because of the decisions I was making in my 20s. I want you to think about that. I am going to school in my 40s because of decisions I made in my 20s, 18 to about 25, something like that. The decisions you make now will affect your future choices. I promise you they will. I don't care what nobody tell you, it will. You want to go get a felony, you just affected your future decision. You want to have a kid early, that's going to affect your future decisions. If you want to be a parent, a responsible parent, it's going to affect your future decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of those people who got lucky having a kid in high school, but it depends on how you look at it, right? So you're in school now in your 40s,
right?
Because the decisions you made in your 20s, but what you deciding to do now in your 40s setting you up for your 60s. So it's never too late to turn it around, or to what you do counts. You know,
Right.
what
Efficiency, being
even
efficient.
so you can think. I know. I was talking to somebody the other day. They're so messed up with the mistakes they made when it was 1920, between 19 and 25. They're so messed up about those mistakes, they didn't even try. They wasted their whole 30s, majority of their 40s, thinking about the mistakes they made in their 20s. All right, yeah, you made a mistake. You didn't maximize your potential then, but
Right.
you let your past mess up your future. And
I think when you're accountable, when you take accountability, I don't think the past affects you anymore. That's just me, in my opinion. I don't know. When you take accountability, I'm just saying to a kid that's listening or any grown up, I'm here because of stuff I didn't do when I was younger. Like I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying fully. Like I don't look at it like a mistake. I'm just saying it like if a kid asks me what's the best route to go, I'm gonna tell them the best route based on the things that I didn't do that I should have done. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, I'm setting myself up for my 60s. I could have set myself up for my 40s and 50s as well in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? I could have done that too.
yeah.
And that's why I'm telling the kids, you can set yourself up for your 30s and 40s by doing this in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
Yeah, I
saying. You
could
know what
have.
I'm saying?
Yeah, and I could have set myself up way better towards when I was in 6th grade. That would
For
have
sure.
set me up in high school. You
Yep.
know,
Exactly.
reflection and accountability. You gotta let there be an opportunity or enlightenment. You know,
Yeah.
encouragement instead of shackles. Some people look at the same thing, and you have retrospect, and you learn the lesson. Some people, I missed my chance. It's over for me now.
Yeah.
Sir, you're 30
It's
years
not.
old. Your
Yeah.
life is now over.
Uh-uh.
And then guess
You
what?
just got
When they 60, I should do that when I'm 30. So when you was 30, you was worrying about your 20s. You was 40,
mm-hmm.
you was worrying about your 30s. When you was 50, you was worrying about your 40s. And you never look ahead. You're always looking behind. My best years behind me. But you look at it as a positive thing, and
Oh yeah, for
you
sure.
learn from your mistakes, and it's great. Uh, let accountability be an ability and not a liability. Looking at
Mm-hmm.
your past mistakes, man, it's my
Because
fault,
a lot of
dog. It's
times
your
when you
fault.
saying when girls had kids in high school, a lot of times the stuff that they don't talk about is those days when they feel like they can't do what everybody else doing in their 20s because they got a kid to raise. You don't hear about those stories where you feel like you lost your teenage years because you had a kid early. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear that enough. And they talk about it like it's a badge of honor, but even maybe a badge of honor, but you don't talk about all of the days. You're just talking about the good days. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
and we
saying?
talk about the ones who win all the time. The ones
Yeah,
that
yeah,
truck drivers, or the ones that it's investment bankers, the ones that are nurse practitioners. What about the ones who still I didn't graduate high school,
yeah.
never did any self skill gaining or
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Right,
They just went down. We always talking about these good cases.
right.
Um, but we don't talk about the woman who's 35 or 37 years old that doesn't have a driver's license
Yeah,
because she got
100%.
pregnant. When
Multiple
she was,
times.
I was finna take my driver's test, but I got pregnant.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
real.
but when in the same breath, you get a woman or a man who had
Mhm.
their child and they made them take everything seriously. When we was out
Yeah,
partying and kicking it, they
yeah,
had to be out working. They had to go to school. They had
yeah,
to make it work because they was doing it for not
100%.
only for them, for their child. So that was their motivation. So these can be
That
your
see, that current decision made their future choice. I gotta do this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
gotta
some
do that.
people need that. I got to,
Yeah,
and some people let that
100%.
be the shackles that chain them down. So
Right.
it can work out either way,
Either
and
way.
you
Right.
can fail either way. Ain't one
Mm.
decision gonna make
No.
everything gravy, and ain't one decision gonna break you either.
Nope. It's like a stack of Legos. How you stack them, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
It's like Tetris. You can't, but the game don't quit. Like in Tetris,
boy,
if too many bad pieces stack up, it'll clear the game. You'll start another round. But in life,
yeah.
it keep stacking.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing you can do is just start making it fit together on the level you
Yeah.
at. Don't worry about level one. Don't level. Hey, them pieces, it's already set in stone. That's all.
So the next one is the difference between crime and a criminal. What you think? The difference between crime and a criminal.
Uh, the I'm like the guy hates the sin and not the sinner. Crime
Right.
and a criminal is just like that. A crime is the thing you're doing, and the
Right.
criminal and the criminal mindset. The criminal
Yeah.
mindset is the thing you need to worry about. Somebody made a career out of scamming, out of that crime, out of selling drugs, and that's their way of life. You know, this is not something I did one time. I didn't steal one time. I'm a
Right.
thief.
Right.
Man, times get hard. I sold a pack of hot dogs. No, I'm going in dealers. I'm getting these shoes. I'm getting these clothes. It's every day to me. I'm a
Right.
habitual offender.
Yep.
And that's when you get desensitized to what you're doing.
Right.
Whether
You
it's
can
smoking
commit.
weed or petty theft.
Yeah, you can commit one crime, but if you keep doing multiple over and over, now you become a criminal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You keep doing stuff like crime, breaking crimes. You end up becoming a criminal, but you can do one
You should
crime.
know the judge on a first name basis.
Yeah, boy, you don't want to. Yeah, for real. But let us know in the comments what you think the difference between crime and a criminal. What you think, man? Let us know in the comments. So, dealing with the unbelief of your potential. I think I've dealt with this numerous times in my life. What do you think? What would you say to somebody that's dealing with the unbelief of their potential?
In life, I think everybody wants to say they did it on their own, they made it on their own, whether
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have teachers or mentors.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people leave and see the talent in you before you do.
Right. That's
You
true.
know, Mike, you can do this. John, you can do this, man. I see your ability. They got your whole life planned. If I had your hand, I'd cut mine off. And they
Boy.
be serious because they think you get it. And you be like, man, yeah, man, my life messed up. My mama don't do this. My brother don't do this. My dad did this and that. You see that negative self-talk creeps in.
Yep.
And you see only the things you have to go through and not all the things you have or the help you have. And it can be so contagious.
Yeah.
And it seems like the negative talk or that spirit gets sticky and waste on stuff. It like getting syrup on your keyboard, you can't never get it off and it just spreads.
Yeah.
And sometimes you gotta be your own cheerleader. You
Yeah,
can
you
do
do.
it. All these people
do.
ain't lying to you. If
Mm-mm.
all these people get all these positive, encouraging things to say about you, I know a lot of haters. But why are you listening to the haters and not listening to? If 10 people say you smart and hardworking, you might be smart and hardworking.
Yeah.
You get
But
10
they gonna pay
people
attention to
agree
the
on
one.
good things,
Yeah.
but you want to discredit that and believe that one hater that said you didn't deserve it. So
Yeah.
your vision is the biggest key in it. What you see and what you decide to focus on.
Yeah.
What words do you hear? I think is the biggest thing.
I think too, growing up in environments that don't foster the things that your potential is great in, right? Sometimes, like when you growing up in some areas or some communities, they may not favor somebody that do coding. You know what I'm saying? They're not on that. And you may be on that. They be like, man, what's that? I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? You just a nerd, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You need to be doing what everybody is. Like, is everybody else selling dope and you the only one out there talking about on computers and code? And they like, man, nobody do that around here. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes kids, you just trying to fit in and survive. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to be accepted by your peers. But where you live at that time, your peers are not doing the same thing that what your potential is in. And being able to have the fortitude to say, well, I'm going to do this regardless of what everybody else is doing. They do take a lot. And sometimes you don't have that person to tell you that you're thinking in the right way. Because a lot of times your parents want you to survive where you're at and, be uh, amongst your peers and stuff instead of just being in the house and stuff like that. I think people don't understand that. They say, why kids don't come outside no more? Because, man, they don't want to be YNs, you know what I'm saying? Riding around the Durango sliding on people, you know what I'm saying? Man, I meant to ask you this on a side note. Did they shut down St. John's?
I don't know. I ain't been back around.
I rode by that the other day, man. It looked kind of like Gotham City over there. It wasn't nobody over there, man. I was like, wow, okay.
They was charging. They get high on the rent. You know, I ain't gonna nowadays. I ain't gonna pay $1,000 to live out there. Are you crazy?
It's inflation, though, bro. What you gonna do?
Not there. And you see,
not there.
It's looking like a ghost town. You know.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, almost out of this thing. Now, you go to the Army. Let's talk about this. How tough is it to? How tough is a dishonorable discharge to navigate? When you get dishonorable discharge out the Army, that's almost about worse as a felony, man. They treat you like a felon, probably worse. A dishonorable discharge hurt, boy. They hurt.
Well, and that's another thing. This year, people like it's easy to get, right? This the same thing. This along the line, same things we've been talking about. You make a mistake that's compounded. You thought you was gonna have a military career. You did something. We don't know what that is. We don't know the situation.
A lot of times, insubordination. Multiple cases of insubordination. We've seen that before, right?
Yeah.
Multiple cases. I know some dudes like you supposed to be on base, but you in here in Little Rock. You're supposed to be in San Antonio. Like, why are you not on base? You know what I'm saying? They get you multiple times. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, just or not listening to, authority and stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's probably a lot. We should ask somebody from the Army. It's probably a lot of stuff you can do to get a dishonorable discharge.
Yeah, a lot of people won't leave. No means no. You got a couple of charges on you. They ain't gonna play about that.
No, not at all.
Everybody else is doing it,
And then when you go fill out for a job, sometimes they ask you what was your reason of leaving the Army? They ask you what was your discharge? Is it honorable or dishonorable? It's like a checkbox. You got to check one if you was in the Army. You know what I'm saying? And
it's like work history. You dedicate a certain amount of years of your life. You got over 5 years now. You get this kind of discharge. Like, why can't we call you? Yeah, that don't look good.
Because it says a lot without you having to say anything. You got dishonorable discharge. It's like some people will look at that with saying you dishonored your country kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like if you're dishonor the country, what you gonna do if you work here? We don't like what we do. You'll definitely dishonor us. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you a perspective of how the world works. You know what I'm saying?
And there you got 5 or 10 years of your life you can't put on the application because of that discharge.
And they will find out. You probably can try to hide it, but if you say you're in the military, sometimes they will find out. It'll come out.
Now you got to put you wasn't even in the military. Yeah, and it's 10 years of work history you can't claim.
Boy, you can't fill that in with enough dirt. You can't fill that in with enough backfield, man. All right, now let's get into some of the nitty gritty. Do bad decisions lead to bad credit scores?
Yeah, and life happens too. Like borrow money when you don't bank as much money, that's when you need to borrow money the most. But that's when you're not in the position to pay that money back in a timely manner. You
Right.
know, my credit stayed at 750, 700 for a long time. You got to do something extraordinary to get over that hump. You're like,
Yeah.
what I got?
Boy.
You don't have a high enough balance. It's crazy. You know,
Yeah.
when you need credit, when you need credit the most, when you ain't get that much money, then when you get the
Or
money,
you take on credit cards that's way higher than what you make bring home monthly, right?
yeah,
Because I've made a lot of bad decisions with credit cards. I'm not even gonna sit here in front. I mean, one time they approved me to get a credit card for like $5,000. Man, that was like, nah, man, that's way too much. Big deal. What's going on, big deal? But yeah, when you a $5,000 credit card and you only bring it home $1,200 a month total, you know what I'm saying? If you max out that $5,000, man, you're not gonna be able to pay that back. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, buying
You just not.
chains and stuff like that. Nah,
Boy,
you wasting money.
uh, buying stuff that don't have value, it diminishes in value. You know what I'm saying? Bad decisions because you can't pay that credit back. You know what I'm saying? Like if you make 500, you got 500 left over after taxes every 2 weeks. You probably just need to get like a $300 credit card or something like that. Don't get no $2,000 or $3,000 credit card, man. Unless you good at
Yeah,
making payments and
but
being disciplined. You know what I'm saying?
no, well, unless you like I said, I get credit cards that I don't use. Um, just they give you the money just because it's there, don't mean you got to use it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because they almost ding you on your credit when you don't use the credit. You got a credit card,
Yeah.
but you haven't used
What,
it.
like 30%? They want you to use at least what 15 to 30% of it, utilization or
Yeah,
something like
so
that. Yeah,
yeah,
something crazy.
you gotta maximize your utilization, or your credit will never come up. And
Right.
people with bad credit say no credit is good credit. No, it's not.
And then some people just operate on the spectrum. It's either no credit or max out. Not use it
Yeah.
for utilization like we talking about. Is
Oh
no
yeah.
credit or max out.
That's the
You know
most
what I'm
common
saying?
thing. Peaceful family. I don't use credit cards. They bad, and as soon as they get one, you know.
Boy,
And this is
man, I
the
need the
thing a lot
money.
of people don't look at in relationships. You work every day. What your credit look like? I'm
Yeah,
not a snobby person, but you soon as you saw 5,000, you spent the 5,000,
yeah.
and you only make
And you know what? Some of those sayings that the cop outs, you only live once. That is one of the most craziest statements that will get you so messed up so fast. You only live once, then
yeah,
you swipe it. You only live once.
you
You know
know,
what I'm saying?
and you only live once. That's related to experiences and doing stuff. Take that vacation, try that new food. Don't
Yeah,
spend $3,000 in dealers.
boy.
That's
On
that.
clothes that
Cause
in
them
another year they're
clothes,
gonna be out of style. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and with the way your weight fluctuates, you ain't gonna be able to wear them clothes to the summer.
Hey man, dude, that man's about to do bad decisions lead to somebody getting like the 600-pound life. Is that a lot of bad decisions stacked on top of each
Yep,
other?
yep. I watched those shows, and I seen the they can't see it when they in it, but
Yeah.
I was I was a heavy child. I was 150. They ain't heavy. Oh, by the time I was in the 11th grade, I was 170. It was just too late for me. How much you weigh now? 600.
Man, that's crazy, man. 600's
170
crazy.
wasn't that bad.
You ever see that Desi
I was
Banks
always
thing he be
struggling.
doing? You ever see that? The Desi Banks one he do or the 600-pound? He said, dude, he got
I
up,
ain't
he had the
seen.
suit on. He had the suit on. He woke up. He said, let me get a large pizza. Let me get a Philly cheesesteak. And on the other one, just surprise me. That boy said, just surprise
But
me.
it's funny because it's so real.
Yeah,
Seeing a grown person, the highlight of that day is ordering out.
yeah. Just a private, yeah.
You know,
Not ordering out, but
thinking about somebody.
ordering for 3 or 4 people, but it's for one person. Like some 3 or 4 people can eat. It's for one person eating it. You know what I'm saying?
You know, when you eat a whole pizza as an appetizer,
Yeah,
and you got an
yeah.
8-piece coming behind it, you know, you get one of the big Tupperwares of spaghetti, you know, you
I
ain't
can't even
even
eat
left
that
the
much.
bed, and you
Man,
get the
that's
food
crazy.
coming, and it's like a
Yeah.
adrenaline rush, and it's like food is so important to you. Sex don't even matter, you know. They just give me that garlic bread. Oh.
Man, when you can't even do nothing when you wear that much. It's over with, man. You can't take enough roast sparks,
Well,
man. You know.
now guess what? A lot of those people be having somebody. Not a lot of those people are single.
Yeah, that's true. When you look at the 600 pounder, yeah, they do have somebody come over and see them. I don't know if it's because they want to be on camera or they just like them, like genuinely like 'em. It's
And
pretty
but
crazy.
guess what? A lot of people like to be needed, and that big person needs you.
Mm,
You make them happy because you
mm,
bring them their food. I can't get the food without you.
yeah. What killed me is like they 600 pounds and the other person 400. It's like, man, that's crazy.
And they skinny. Hey, yeah, she's skinny. You know, she like she's 400 pounds. You just 600.
Yeah, that's
You know, but
crazy,
some
bro.
people really are attracted to that.
Hey, everybody got a different cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a lot of tea to drink, but everybody, some people want the tall, that 32 ounce, come and go cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But some people, they feel better about themselves looking at you. Every time we
yeah.
go somewhere together, I'm look the best.
The world is a vain place, man. The world is a vain place. Whether people want to agree with it
My
or not.
girl 600 pounds, but I'm good. Look at my suit.
Boy. So the next set of bad decisions, don't do this, kids. How does a person get something repossessed? Whether it's furniture, car, anything that you rent to own, they come back and take it back. Like, sometimes people don't
It's
talk
easy,
about this kind of stuff out loud.
boy. It's easier said. It's easier done than said, right? So, getting a car note
Boy.
that you can afford on a good
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
So you can afford it if everything go right. So you probably need to get a 250, maybe 300 car note. But you want this car. You only live once. So you got a $600, $700 car note.
And you don't make enough to
And
cover
then
that.
something
Like,
happened.
yep.
And then something happened. Just one
Yep.
thing. You sure no
Yep.
car note. They don't play that. Now you're a month
Mhm.
behind. It was hard for you to pay a regular month. Now you get those late fees and tests on. You
Yep.
too much behind. That may as well be eternity. You starting to park. Just because your check was short of $100 one pay period, you still gotta eat. Still gotta pay your rent. And
Yep.
Ricky didn't give you that money. And now you're hiding your car over your mama's house. That repo's coming.
Yeah.
And
That's the
you
kind of
can
stuff people
afford
don't
it
talk
when you
about.
had it. And then they
Yep.
take it. But you still gotta pay that note. The only sane thing to do is just forget about it. But now your credit hit. And you
And
get
people
next
say,
time you go ahead.
people will say, well, yeah, they'll say, you got the audacity. How do you know these things? Well, we have all financed cars. If you finance a car, you know these things. Like, there are some people that are riding around with a temporary tag they had since January of 2026, and it's still on their car now. That tells me, by a person that financed the car, they haven't paid their sales tax. Or it's so high they can't even afford to pay $2,000-3,000 at one time. Because that's how most sales taxes be. $2,000, $3,000, depending on how much the car costs. You want to get that Land Rover, you might be looking at 5 racks sales tax. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
and
they
guess
ain't no
what,
payment plan
man?
with the revenue office. They want it now. You know what I'm saying?
And guess
And
what? You can afford the new one. So you get the one, it's just 2 years old. But now you got a foreign car,
yeah,
70,000 miles on it.
Ooh.
Oh, something majorly wrong with it.
Oh yeah.
And you
For
gotta
real.
buy a water pump for a foreign car. Now you
Ooh.
already paying $800 a month,
Yeah.
and they tell you $2,000 for the
Yep.
water pump.
Now sitting in the
Guess
driveway.
what? You still gotta pay, even though it won't drive. You still gotta pay them $800 for this 2-year-old Land Rover, but it look good. It look good for the ground.
And then if you don't have financial discipline to know where you are financially, to know if you're stable enough to have finance a car for 3 years. You don't even know if you're stable enough. Do you know if you're stable enough? Like, am I gonna have 500 or however much to pay for this car? Do I have that much money allocated that I can pay for the next 5 or 6 years? You know what I'm saying? Or am I just
3
looking at how
months?
much I got now?
I got it for 3 months because I saved some checks up. I worked some overtime. But
Then they cut
but
overtime. You're not working overtime no more. Oh man, I was depending on that overtime. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
That
And
happens a
guess
lot.
what, man? They're not financing the car for 3 years. It's 4. It's 7 years. You gotta pay $800 a month for 7 years.
Think about celebrities. They want to finance Bentleys.
No, this all the
Yeah.
time. Your child will be in elementary school.
Yeah.
You will not be car note free until they get out of school. And guess what you're gonna do? As soon as you pay the car off, you get the double.
Or as soon as the signs are like transmission slipping, you're gonna trade in and get another one. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In the 5 years.
Let's
You
add
can
another
finance
4
it for
years
7.
on to it.
Yeah. And also another thing, repossessed furniture. People don't talk about this. You go to Rent-A-Center, you got to pay weekly, whatever, bi-weekly on furniture, man. That's crazy. But people do it though. Or they wouldn't be in business if they didn't do it, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, they coming to get it.
My cousin got a couch I can borrow.
For real.
Income
So my next one, what leads up to a foreclosure?
I learned from my parents early. Hey, income tax come, we gonna get some furniture or something. Like we ain't gonna be making payments on the couch.
Yeah, we can't buy it cash, we don't need it. Some stuff if you can't buy it cash, you don't need it. Now, next one, what leads up to a foreclosure? A lot of people don't talk about this either. The process of foreclosure. They just make it seem like they just got foreclosed. Y'all, it take time for foreclosure to happen. It don't just happen overnight. It take months, sometimes years of not paying.
And they take knowledge too. Like they threatened me like I had sick. They threatened me, but guess what? You talk to them, they didn't deal, and they deal with everybody different. Like Mike told me stuff, they deal with him totally different than they deal with me. So they saying, no, we can't give you that deal, but we can do this. Hey, I'll take what y'all get.
And that's another thing too.
But you gotta ask questions.
If somebody tell you that they go through foreclosure, you like in your head thinking, did you talk to the mortgage company or did you just not pay them and hope for the best? You know what I'm saying? People do that too. They don't pay and hope for the best. And then get mad when they tell you gotta move out.
That's what Floyd did. He didn't take the test and he was hoping for the best.
Yep.
And he almost a billionaire. So So yeah, man, I was sitting down there and money wasn't coming in, but we still had to live in the house. So thank God.
But there's some people that make these stories up when you be on social media, they talking about the foreclosure. If you know anything about a foreclosure, like, man, they so capping right now. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, man, they'll say, man, just pay the interest. Don't even worry about the principal, just pay the interest. You know what I'm saying?
But then you realize, like, man, like my bad credit hit me hard, because the interest is more than the principal. But
for real, 100%.
But man, you don't ever know when it's gonna come, what you gonna have to do. Talk to people, use your mouth.
Then don't get in over your head, man. Like, don't go get a $500,000 house. If you ain't even making 60,000, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that. That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep up with the Joneses, but you're not even making the Joneses money. You know what I'm saying? People do that a lot. They go move out to Bryant, Benton somewhere,
or
Haskell
down there
or whatever.
overtime shit. My
And,
girl
you know,
was nurse.
and she moved out there. And you making
Yeah,
like
she had
you
a big house, but she was counting her overtime shit.
yeah, she wasn't counting a regular check. And then when you
We
move out
get
there too, you don't think
her out here.
about the wear and tear you put on your car. That's extra wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? Gas now, almost 4 something a gallon, you know what I'm saying? The logistical part of driving back to work, that will have an effect on you driving on the freeway back to work 30 to 45 minutes, to Little Rock or wherever you're working, back home 45 minutes. Then you come home, traffic, you know what I'm saying? That will have an effect on you, whether you believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful about that. It's like I
Yeah,
think they
and
say
you got
now
this big house
foreclosures are
that you
going.
ain't even living in.
Yeah, because you work 8 hours a day, and then by the time you come home, you're really there only 4 hours if you're there for that long. You know, if you ain't going to get something to eat somewhere, you may only be at your house probably for like an hour a day. As a regular adult, 2 hours at the max. You up and you probably in the bed. You know what I'm saying? But you get off at 5, you come home and chill. You got from about 5 to what 9, 9:30, 10. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get up in the morning to go to work on time, you know what I'm saying? You really only got about 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Really?
And you done bought your own shaft.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, guys, we just want
Yeah,
last
man,
one.
this
Last one. We out of here. This is what people don't talk about too.
it's a
Owning
big
land
lag
or
on the connection.
you own your house. If you don't pay your taxes in 3 years, this is what leads up to a tax lien on your house, and they can auction it off. In the state of Arkansas, you have 3 years to be behind on your taxes. If you go past that 3rd year, they're gonna send you a letter say you are tax delinquent. We're going to certify your land or house to the state of Arkansas, and it goes to a tax auction. So when people say
And
I
the
don't
beautiful
know what happened,
scavengers, they can't wait. They've been marking
can't
your
wait.
stuff on the calendar.
They can't wait. Because people always say, I don't know what happened. Guess what? Ignorance ain't going to stop you from going to the tax lien auction. You know what I'm saying? It don't work. I seen it. Well, the place I used to work at a long time ago, it was on the top floor. The what was it called? Commissioner of Lands. I seen people come from the boonies trying to pay their taxes to keep it from going to auction. Because when they go to auction, if the scavengers win it, you can't win it back. Now the rules is like you can't get it back now. You know what I'm saying? You lose, you can't get it back. So be smart, man. Make good decisions, man. And anything you want to say, man, before we close out this thing? For the close out
No,
this
it's all
thing.
good.
Thanks for watching Think Again Podcast. The
The
aftermath of making bad decisions, man. Whether you agree with it or not, there's an aftermath. There are results. And whether we can't pick and choose. Sometimes you think you get it right until you get it wrong. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Think Again Podcast, thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.